What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this one I want to give you guys a very quick update on the markets. Just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15, and the offer ends very soon in just about 3 days from now. Anyways, as far as the market goes, right now the market's on a very strong uptrend. We're looking at this support at this 600 area to see if SPY will hold that or not. There was some data that came out, and despite that, the market's still very flat. So let's talk about the data, and I'll break down more details about the charts. So this morning, we got some interesting data. We had our GDP numbers in terms of our growth rate quarter over quarter. Everything was very close to expectations and not bad whatsoever. So GDP numbers were okay. Initial jobless claims were also very close to expectations right over here. Not bad whatsoever. And then we also had a bunch of inflationary numbers for core PCE prices quarter over quarter. These were also decent, very close to expectations. That's why the market was flat with all this data coming out. Now, there's 2 more times to watch for some volatility. At 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Chicago PMI report. This may cause some volatility, so watch it 15 minutes after market open. Once again, at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then at 10 o'clock a.m., we also happen to have more data coming out. So we're looking to see more volatility because of this. We have essentially the core PCE inflationary, price index month over month. We have personal income that's coming out. Then more PCE data. We'll see how this inflationary data looks. Hopefully everything is very close to expectations. This is just the PCE price index. Whenever this causes may affect the Fed's policies too, so just make sure you guys watch that very carefully. And then we have a bunch of bill auctions coming out at 10 a.m. So look for some inflationary data and some bill auctions at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see how it goes from there. For earnings, just know that we have Dell that just announced their earnings. What happened was they had decent earnings overall, beating on EPS and revenue, I believe. Revenue was a little bit short, but EPS was a beat. But the issue was their outlook, which I went over yesterday, was not that strong. So that's the reason why the share price went down. They had weak growth projections for Q4, and that's the reason why we saw Dell essentially dump. As far as the market goes, we're still very unchanged. We did see a small push, though, thanks to the FOMC minutes that came out yesterday. They're basically suggest that the Fed is going to continue to most likely cut, and that's what the market liked to hear. That's what the market pushed. Besides that, I didn't see anything else that's too crazy, at least on the news. Now let's just focus on the charts from this point on. So what do I see for SPY and the others moving forward? It's very simple. We're going to be watching a test of 600. We might see a small dip to about that 600 area, and we'll have to see if it holds. We're technically at this previous all-time high. If we manage to hold above 600, I think 602.5 and then potentially 605 are potential targets. I'm sorry, 602.5 and 604 are the potential targets based off fib levels. And if we don't hold above 600, we're looking for 598, and 596.8 is the main supports. So it could go either way. It is the last day before the holiday. So sometimes, before holidays, you do get some profit taking. But in this case, I'm not as sure about that as the market's at all-time highs. So I think what's going to happen is when we open, we're going to be looking for a retest of 600. As long as that holds, this will continue to push to about 602.5 or above. The chart does remain more bullish, and it has potential to continue to squeeze. But we are at some tough resistance simultaneously, so it just could go either way. It's a little bit difficult for me to tell you this because we're at all-time highs and we're just kind of stuck there right now. So we'll just have to see. But just let me make this very simple. As long as we're above 600, we're looking for 602.5 and then 604 as our targets. And if 600 fails us, we're looking for 598 and 596.8. Just watch those levels carefully and see how well we hold up above that support. And we'll see if 600 holds. ES is looking more bullish overall. We want to see if this could hold above this support, though, just to be safe. Can we hold above 6,025? As long as that holds, we're looking for an attempt to get back up to 6,050. And if we lose that support, we're looking for 6,011, not to mention 6,000 flat. So we're watching these levels very closely. My gut does tell me that this could try to rebound, and we're looking for essentially 6,050. So I think we look more bullish on ES, and there's a lot more upside potential, at least from here moving forward. But I just wanted to say that if anything, we are continuing to uptrend. I think that the chart is technically bullish as we're making higher highs and higher lows. As long as you don't lose 6,011, this will continue to push. If we lose 6,011, though, at least later on today, then this could be dipping. So make sure you watch these levels closely. It is the day before a holiday, so there might be some manipulation. I want to call out Nvda. This is what's slowing the QQQ down a bit. We did have this liquidity grab, and now we're rejecting here. So we want to see if this could try to hold above 135.85. If we can't hold above that, there is a risk of this dipping to about 132. So keep that in mind. For Bitcoin, we're pushing to about 94,470. If that breaks, we're looking for essentially this, an attempt to get up to about 96,000. Why? Because that's previous support becoming resistance. That's going to be a key zone. For others out there, we have Tesla. Tesla's trading sideways. Look for a push around 340, 342 upon open. If that breaks, we're looking for 345 to 348. Look at that range. If we break past 348, we're looking for 353. And if we end up losing 335, excuse me. If we lose 335, we're looking for a move back down to 330, not to mention the gap will back down to 320. So a lot of levels to watch for on Tesla. It loves to push upon open, so look for a push to about 345, if not 348 upon open. Then if the trend continues, it's going to dip and just continue to consolidate as the most likely possibility, because Tesla's been getting low volume. We'll see if that ends up being the case. We look for a push upon open and some consolidation. For NQ, we pushed very nicely. We're going to be looking at 20,911 to see if we hold. We hit my 21,000 target already, but if 20,911 breaks, we're looking for 20,861. If that breaks, we're looking for essentially 20,800 flat. So watch those three supports. Might see a little pop around 21,000 upon open. We'll see if we get a reject to start dipping back down to 20,900. If not, 20,861. And we'll see what kind of reaction we get as we're showing some weakness. With the QQQ, we pushed very, very nicely to 510. We'll have to see if we break 510 to get up to 512 or not. If we hit 510 and reject, though, we're looking for 506.64 and 505 is the two main supports. If 505 breaks, though, we're looking for a bigger dip to the lower 500s. It's a little complicated because Apple and Nvda are showing some weakness, whereas other stocks are holding up. That's why we're seeing a lot of like sideways price action right now on the Qs. Apple looks like it's a little weaker right now. I did call out 236. We came just short of that target. Now we're dipping. So we're looking for essentially 232 as our main support. I think we might dip closer to the 232. So we'll see if we bounce or not. If not, 229.5 is going to be our next target. So we'll see what kind of reaction we get. For other factors out there, we have MSTR. We're going to be looking for essentially 398. As our potential targets. We have 376 to 398 being tested, which is what I called out yesterday. If we break 398, we turn back to bullish. If we can't hold above 398, we could still reject it, continue to downtrend back down to 350. So keep that in mind. IWM has a high up here, came down, made a lower high. If we don't break past 242, there's a risk of it dipping to about 240. So keep that in mind. We need to get back above 244. Otherwise, this could continue to downtrend. It could be making a lower high right there. For coin, we're looking for 304 as our target. We'll see what kind of reaction we get off that. We're range bound between 304 and 294 for now. Amazon pushed about 208. We need to try to reclaim 208 to push to 210 plus. If 208 does not hold, we're at risk of coming back down to about 205. Keep that in mind. Meta pushed very, very nicely. We have 576 as our resistance. If we can't hold above that, we're at risk of dipping to about 572. And if that does not hold, we dip back down. So look for a very, very interesting range right here. We have Microsoft as well. We hit 428. If that does not hold, we could be dipping back down for basically 424. If that fails us, we're looking for essentially 422. So I do see a small dip potential here if we don't hold above 428. And then if you look at Google, we're looking for a nice pushback up for 171. If that breaks, we're looking for 173. And if we end up projecting off 171, we could be dipping back down for 168. So I think that there's potential for Google to push higher. We'll have to see if this resistance breaks, and we'll see what ends up happening from here. So overall, guys, I thank you all so much for listening. Make sure you guys watch to see if SPY could hold 600 or not. It's very tricky. We're near all-time highs, and it's just before the holidays, so there's a mix of factors affecting us. So we'll give this market the time it needs. Until I see you guys again, I thank you all so much for listening. So please enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the last trading day before Thanksgiving. So I thank you for listening. See you very soon, and peace out.